guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just going to do a kind of FAQ video or an informative video about studying a master's program abroad. I have my notebook here and I've written down a couple of points and frequently asked questions that I get on my blog. So I decided to make into the video for anyone who's interested in pursuing a master's program. I'm going to talk about my experience, application processes, if it's really worth it to even go abroad for a master's program. So if you'd like to know more, please keep watching. Okay, so I think the very first thing I'm just going to discuss is like background, my personal background, so you can understand the perspective of which I'm talking from. I recently just completed my master's program. I've told you guys that before. I finished like 2 months ago, and yes, so I've been in Scotland here in the United Kingdom for about a year, and I'm just going to share with you my experiences and all that. As I said previously, I have a lot of questions I've written down in my book, and I'm just going to address them one after the other. So please just listen. Okay, the first question that I get a lot of is, I want to go for a master's, I don't know what course to choose, blah blah. And the first thing I always ask them is, why exactly are you going for a master's? Now, I'm going to use myself as an example. I'm going to be very sincere and truthful. When I completed my undergrad, I worked for a year, so I was actually finished in 2011, and I didn't start my master's until last year, so I was out of school for 2 years. And during that 2 years, I was working with my parents. I also got a job in another media firm. That's where I was working. And truthfully, the only reason why I wanted to do a master's was because I just needed an escape, to be fair, and I just felt like I needed career advancement. And so that at least, I mean, back where I'm coming from, I'm from Nigeria, and practically everyone in Nigeria holds a master's degree. So it's like that, if you apply for a job and you don't have any certifications. I studied accounting and I do not intend to do that as a lifetime career. So I didn't have ICANN, I didn't have ACC and all the certifications. So I felt what would give me like an edge in the job industry or the job market was to have a master's program or some sort of thing that would give me an edge in comparison to my peers. So I decided to go for a master's. So I started whining my parents. I'm like, oh, I want to go for a master's. And my dad, being an amazing person that he is, he was like, okay, you want to go for a master's? Write me an essay why you want to go for the master's, what course you want to do and all that. So that actually even allowed me to even go into retrospect and actually think exactly why I want to go for the master's, the courses I'd like to do, and what value I intend to add after to myself after the master's program. What kind of jobs do I intend to apply for when I was done with the master's program? So for you as an intending candidate, or for you as a prospective candidate thinking of going for a master's, I think the first thing for you to do is, okay, maybe your name is, let me say Jane. Okay, Jane, why are you going for a master's? Now, I might just going just to while away time, and I think it's really unfair to whoever is sponsoring your education and tuition, even if it's yourself that you're paying for it yourself. It's not, and I know that people coming from African countries like us, a lot of us go for masters and you come back and you start going job hunting as well. So I don't think it makes it's not nice, or it's not viable for you to go on a master's just for the intention of wasting time, or just getting away from your parents, and your parents are choking you and things like that. So I think you should ask yourself, why am I going for a master's? Do I need it to further my career? Another key thing I want to talk about, just continuing with that, is also work experience. And I said previously I was working for 2 years. A lot of courses in the UK or any other country as that they require you to have an experience before you apply for the master's, usually MBA courses. But I know a plethora of schools that you don't even need experience for you to do the course. Now I'm gonna use myself in comparison with the people I schooled with. A lot of people in my class that did not have experience, and it showed, because I think the master's program abroad is very different from the educational how would I put it, from the standards wherever you're coming from, or even if you did a course in the UK, I think it's different with the master's. Master's is more of brain, your intellect, logic than book itself. So even when you read like articles and assignments, they want you to use your own brain, you need to brainstorm and things like that. So having experience in a work environment, be it a business work environment or engineering work environment, is actually really relevant. So I think as a prospective candidate, I think you should actually focus more on getting job experience instead of trying to get a master's degree for you to get that job. Do you understand? So if you can't get the job, by all means do apply for a master's. So that's the first thing. Now the second thing I'm going to talk about is the course you apply for. I said my dad made me write an essay, and I thought I wanted to do human resource. So I started checking my course outlines, I compared schools, I compared universities and all that to see what kind of course it's valid, because I have an accounting background. So as I said, so I just wanted a course that was not accounting but if at all I needed to do accounting, I'll be able to apply the little knowledge I have from my undergrad to the master's program. So I started checking for courses, and I knew that a lot of courses were very cliche. A lot of people from where I was coming from were doing courses like international business, they were doing maybe statistics, some people just even went for accounting, some people did economics. And luckily for me, I found a school, like I went to University of Strathclyde. You can check it out, I'll put down links below. And it was a school that was offering international management, which is like an MBA. But I think for an MBA in my university, you need 3 years working experience, and I only had 2. So when I checked like the course outline and what we did, and I felt like the course models were very, very enlightening. These were things I had interest in. We were doing human resource, we were doing strategy, and that was like one of my my strengths. So I knew that these are the courses I wanted to do, and there was a course model called the Management Development Program, which works with your own personality as a manager rather than just the academic side or the professional side. So when I checked that, I applied for the course and I got into that. So I think for you need to think about that as well. You need to think about what course you're going to do. Don't just do anything that it will just be like you're just in your final year in university. You can do something that will add value specifically to you. I intend to be a business developer, and I've already started doing that. So this course actually helped me to actually even build on my strengths and actually help me to be better. So that's that. The application process is actually something that I think deserves a total video, and I think I will do that. I'm not sure. If not, I'll make a post about it. I'm just going to break down the steps. The first thing you want to do when you're applying for a master's program is to actually go to your university and apply for a transcript. Now, some universities, if you finish from a federal university, like I'm going to keep talking about Nigeria because that's where I'm from. If you finish from a federal university in Nigeria, it's quite hard for you to get your transcript. I heard that you have to, pay a lot of people, keep going to school back and forth. But the university I went to was actually a private university, and all I had to do was just go to the school, write a letter, apply for it, and pay a certain fee, and it was sent to me in 10 working days. So that's the first thing, because you really don't want to apply to any university without having your transcript. It just slows down the process. Now, I advise anybody that wants to go for a master's, let's say now or October, and you want to come for a master's next year, September, kindly start now. I started my program last year, September, and I started applying February that year. So I had like 8 months gap, and nothing was under pressure. I was able to do things timely, and I just think everything was kind of smooth. And even when I faced challenges, it wasn't like a panic attack. It wasn't something really deep. Now, the application processes, there are lots of agents that you can use, and those agents are going to charge you millions. I'm going to put my agent's name here and his phone number below. It's from UKEAS. It's called the United Kingdom Educational Assistance Services. I think UKEAS. If I'm wrong, I'll correct myself. They help you without taking a dime from you. Now, after they've done helping you, by the time you get to school, I think your university pays them a percentage of your tuition when you've been accepted. So that's how they get paid. But you don't pay them anything. You don't need to pay any company. I'm not going to mention names of companies in Nigeria that charge people 100,000, 300,000. That's about £2,000 just to apply for a university. You're going to pay over £20,000 for tuition. So I think you can get free services, and also you can do it absolutely yourself. I did my application myself from beginning to the end. When I wanted to get the visa, I went to the UKEAS place to help me with the visa advice, just to fill the forms appropriately and all that. So that's really about it with the application process. As I said, you just go to your school, get your transcript, get all your documents, your school leaving certificate, that's your O-level results, your undergrad results. You may need to write what's it called? The essay you need to write, like why you want to do the course. I can't really remember the name it's called right now, but it's an essay that I usually write to universities. My essay I'm willing to share with you if you're interested. I'll put it in a Dropbox folder and I'll put it below. Or if you mail me, I can send it to you personally. So I think that's what I'll do, because I don't want anyone to plagiarize. So I think that's important for the application process. But for more details on the application process, I think I'll actually make another. Okay, now everyone knows that going for a master's program, even in your home country anywhere, is quite expensive. And I'm going to use UK as a case study because that's the information I have. I don't know about any other country. But the UK government requires you to have, I don't know about your school, but I'm not going to tell you how much my tuition was, but you can check if I put the school's name below. So I think you should think about your tuition, how you intend to pay for it. If your parents are going to do a one-off or you're going to have to work, you need to think about that, because even here, I know a lot of people that struggle with their tuition, and it's really not the best thing you want to do. Yeah, I don't advise anybody to come for a master's program and start working. You wouldn't have enough time, because usually, even if you don't have classes every day, you're always working. So even the days you have classes, I used to have classes from 9 to 5, and those of my friends that I knew that were working, there was just a mess. They used to submit assignments late and all that. But if you have the strength and you think you can do that, by all means, go for it. Now, one thing I know that I actually really did enjoy during my master's year was the fact that I had a wholesome life balance. And I'm going to say that because I had my leisure was great, exercise was great, academics was great, my spiritual life was great, and everything was good. And I think the reason why I can say that it was great was because I actually did plan for this year. Like, I remember that years before when I was in school, I was just, it's either I'm completely sold out to like partying, or I was completely sold out to academics. I really didn't have a good balance. But when I was coming from my master's, I told myself, I knew that, Nigerians, I don't want to waste my father's money. And also, I didn't want it to be a bore. I learned a lot of skills this year, just spending time on my own. And I'm just going to list a few things that I was able to achieve this year, even while during my master's program. I was able to blog effectively. I was able to, write professional exams online. I was able to apply to jobs. I was able to, what else did I do? I was able to start 3 businesses while during my master's program. I was able to start my own personal business development course. I was able to get features on Nigerian TV programs. I know if you follow my blog, you know I have a feature on Ebony Light TV. And all these things have to do with just communication, networking with people. Don't just come for a master's and say, oh, just because you're trying to make a distinction, you just shut out everybody or you don't improve yourself. I was also able to improve my spiritual life. I was able to, make valuable friendships. I was able to spend time with myself, understand my thresholds, understand my weaknesses. And I think that's the best gift you can do for yourself. I think there's nothing more fulfilling than even when your parents can realize that you've changed, not just academic wise but like even personal wise. And in as much as my master's year I felt it was amazing, I also had like some challenges, and I was able to overcome them because I was whole. I don't know how else to explain exactly what I mean, but I was self-aware. Yeah, that's the word. Like, I just did things because I plan appropriately for them. So I think even your mindset when leaving the country for a master's program shouldn't just be academic focus, just be about you as a person developing. Next thing I'm going to talk about is travel. Now, this is one thing I actually kind of regret that I didn't do, and that's because, as I said, I have so many things I'm doing, so even traveling wasn't really my priority. Now, there's so many places you can. So my housemates, when I used to live in the school accommodation, used to travel to different countries like every month, and that's one thing I actually wish I took advantage of. But I'm still going to be here for a while, so I can still do that. So you can travel a lot during your master's program. My friend Karen, I think he's also been on the blog before. We have a video together, and he applied for a Schengen visa, and you know what that is? It's a visa that can take you to, I think, about 8 or 9 European countries. You can go to Paris, you can go to France. So instead of spending all your money on shopping, you can get more experience. You can travel, you can go to Dublin, you go to Turkey, all these visas. Dublin and Turkey, you don't really need all the Schengen visa processes. The Turkey one is so easy, just apply and it costs just £20 and you get it in less than 5 minutes. And that's about it. Dublin, you can go by bus, you can go by plane, it's not far. You can go to England, as long as you're in the UK, go to England, Ireland, North Ireland. Yes, I think it's like 3 countries you can travel to without needing to get a visa because you hold a valid UK visa. So you can travel, another thing you can do while you're doing your master's program. Now, the question now, what I get all the time is the master's program worth it? If your goal is to become a businesswoman, or you have dreams of selling things, or you're a crafty person in your hands, not everybody needs to come for a master's. You can apply for a course, you can apply for a training. I have a friend who was supposed to come to the UK for, I think, fashion merchandising. And because she got a better job opportunity, she scrapped the idea. But not necessarily a master's degree. There are trainings, there are certifications you can do. If at all you need to get the educational forewall of the school knowledge. Now, you don't need to come for a master's. Instead of your parents or whoever is sponsoring you spending £20,000 on tuition, they can give you quarter of that money, £5,000 for you to invest into your business. Because I don't see the point coming for a master's and at the end of the day you go back home and open a store. That's just my own point of view. I don't know what kind of academic skills you can apply into opening a store besides the regular trade and barter. But if you maybe have intention of opening like a multinational and you want to be listed on the stock exchange, then maybe a master's program might be the best decision for you to make. But if you have like a vocational trade, why don't you use those sources or those resources into bettering your skill and setting up your what's it called, setting up your trade or whatever you need to do. So I think that's it. But personally for me, for my own life's goals as a business developer, I think this was a great decision. It was totally worth it. I know I may sound cliche or I'm exaggerating, but I think this year my life actually changed. And I don't know if it's the master's program or the fact that I'm living alone or the fact that I was away from all the distraction I had before when I was home. No, but I know that it had something to do with like things I was doing every day, like, you know, spending time online, going to school every day, mixing with new people, my church family, my, you know, everything, my extracurricular activities and all that. So that's basically it for, I think, all the things I want to talk about considering the master's program. I'm sure I'm probably missing out some things, but if I am, I would write them down in the comment box, or I'll add it to the next video about the application processes. So thank you guys so much. That's really my 2 cents on my master's program, my year, and all that. I'm thankful to God because I finished it successfully. Nothing happened to me. I'm healthy, I'm alive, I'm going to celebrate my graduation. My results were fantastic and God has been faithful. So please, if you have any questions or some things that you think I did not touch on that you'd like to know my own opinion about, I don't claim to know it all, but I think if I have anything that I think will be valuable to you, I really do not mind sharing. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was not too long, and I hope to talk to you guys soon. Bye.